Hi, I'm Lee. I use they, them pronouns. This is another episode of Navigating Cancer. I am in the second week of round 3 of chemo, and this has been a really rough round. So on previous videos, I've had numerous people who have wanted to help, and I recognize we are a fix-it society. We are want to make it better. We don't like to see people hurting. We don't like to see people suffering. And so we want to offer support. We want to offer help. We say, hey, here's the solution. Cook this, mix this, take this concoction, say this prayer, do this meditation. And I want to recognize each of you for wanting to help, wanting to support, wanting to fix, and I just want to say, one, thank you. I recognize that you are trying to help, and I just want to say I'm not putting these videos out there because I'm looking for help. I have an entire medical team of support and a community of support that I go to for the solutions and the answers, and I have my own spiritual practice that is working for me. And so I'm going to ask that you please take a pause when you want to try to offer solutions to what I am sharing in this video and in videos to come, and consider that I am sharing this to help those who have come before me and those who come after me to just know they're not alone, that you're not alone if you're going through this, and while your situation may not be the same, that you're not alone. And offering solutions and fixes can feel very invalidating, actually, because it doesn't allow space for the person who is going through the situation to just be in the space of what they're experiencing and going through it. And so instead of providing a solution, perhaps just sit with me in this video as I share what I'm sharing and hold space for the uncomfortableness that I am in, and be in that uncomfortableness with me, and have compassion for the discomfort that I am experiencing without trying to change it for me, knowing that I'm doing everything I can to change it in the way that is compassionate and good for my body, and that is helping me move forward. That is what I need, and that is what is most helpful. Not a different solution, not another fix, but just being with me and holding space for me as I sit in this discomfort and as I try to work through this discomfort in the way that I need to do it. All right. That being said, the situation I find myself in. So these videos, as I've been doing them, I usually share first kind of physical status updates, and then kind of mental, emotional, spiritual. So physical, for those of you who don't know, I have stage 4 colon cancer. I was diagnosed in March, and round 3 of chemo, as I've said, has been particularly arduous. I started out my 48-hour cycle of infusion. Day 1 was fine. Day 2 actually was, the nausea kicked in early, which was new and very distressing. Usually the nausea doesn't kick in until the end of the first 2 rounds. The nausea didn't kick in until later on day 3. So to have it start up right away on day 2 was really unnerving. So when I went in for day 3 to have the pump removed and to finish the infusion, I was already pretty sick and pretty miserable. But they had prescribed a new medication that was hopefully going to help with the nausea and the really miserable, what I had started referring to as the dark days. Days 4 and 5 of my chemo cycle were the days where I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink even water. I couldn't speak, I couldn't advocate for myself, I couldn't even ask for help. I could just lay in this chair and wish for unconsciousness. And I started this new anti-nausea med, and days 4 and 5 of this cycle were magically fine. I felt like a normal human. I ate food. I drank liquids. I talked. I moved around my apartment. I washed dishes. I did normal, everyday things. I took a shower. I felt like a normal human who was tired and a little crummy, because I don't think I felt like a happy, healthy human since I started chemo, but I felt just generally crummy instead of sick on days 4 and 5, which was wildly different than the first 2 rounds of chemo. And I thought, this is amazing. We've turned a corner. Everything's going to be different. And then day 6 hit. And without going into too much detail, I do want to just preface this with saying I have colon cancer. So the problems I am running into, which aren't uncommon for anyone on chemotherapy, but specifically as someone with colon cancer, the problems I am running into are directly related to my digestive system. So from my mouth to my throat to my stomach to my intestinal tract to my colon to my bum, entry to exit problems. So chemotherapy has munted all of that, if you will. My mouth feels weird. My saliva is not working. Everything tastes wrong. Water tastes vile. I put flavors in water and most of them taste vile. So drinking most liquids is pretty appalling. But I need to drink liquids because I need to be hydrated. So I'm fighting to stay ahead of the dehydration. I can't drink anything cold because the chemotherapy has, my particular blend of chemotherapy creates a cold, negative reaction to cold, a cold sensitivity, anything that is like room temperature or colder feels like I'm putting glass shards in my mouth and swallowing them. And it feels like glass shards going down my throat and into my stomach. Very painful, very unpleasant, as you can imagine. So I have to drink lukewarm or warmer liquids. So I can't drink cold water or iced tea or cold soda or anything. I need to drink warm drinks, which in the summertime is less delightful. Coffee no longer is delightful to me. I no longer have my morning latte or coffee drink. Most of those are just not satisfying anymore. So warm coffee isn't even a relief that it used to be. What else? So that's throat. Stomach is now half of the cycle. My stomach is totally nauseated, in a state of just wanting to hurl back everything that I try to put into it. And then the other half of the cycle is in a state of like gaseous planet surface, like bubbly, gurgly, acidic, like just miserable state of sort of acid reflux and gas and just misery and upset. So whether I eat or I don't eat, it feels miserable. It doesn't feel good to eat. It doesn't feel good to not eat. So getting food in me has been a struggle. I've lost close to 10 pounds, which at round 3 of 12 is concerning. Been talking to my medical doctors about that. We have a plan in place so that I don't lose too much weight throughout this process. So that's my stomach. And like I was saying, days 4 and 5 were amazing. So I was like, we're turning a corner. And then day 6 hit. And day 6 is what I've now referred to as the day of reckoning, because I went days 1 through 5 on a slew of very strong anti-nausea meds. And for those of you who have not ever had to go on a lot of anti-nausea meds are incredibly constipating. So I went about 5 days without having a proper poo. So day 6 was the day when my body decided we're full and this is not going to work. And it was a bad day. It was a very horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. And I was very sick all day. I won't go into details. You can fill in the gaps with your own imagination. And I didn't recover after Monday. So day 6, Monday, was the day of reckoning. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, like the gaseous planet state of my stomach and my entire intestinal tract was just like on fire, just angry, and nothing helped. Nothing made it better. It was just like molten lava in my entire, from top to bottom. Everything was angry and molten lava. That's the best way I can describe it. I was in pain. I was sick, and nothing helped. Nothing could relieve it. Today is the first day I've felt okay, which is delightful to feel okay. I still feel a little sick, but I will take a little sick. I'm showered for the first time in many days, and I've eaten a little food, and I feel okay about it for the first time in many days. I'm not belching and feeling like my entire internal digestive tract is on fire and full of lava for the first time in many days, and I am okay with that. So, yeah, I'm hoping today is the turning point. I'm cautiously optimistic because I thought days 4 and 5 were the turning point, and then I had day 6, so cautiously optimistic. So that's the health, physical status update. So from the mental, emotional, spiritual side of this, I kind of think of that scene from Inside Out, where in the first movie, where Joy and Sadness and Bing Bong are trying to find their way back to headquarters, and Bing Bong's like, we're just going to go through here, it's a shortcut. And they pass through, I'm trying to think, it's like where Riley processes bigger concepts, deeper concepts, like that she hasn't fully processed or needs to like get another level of understanding of. And they walk inside and they get deconstructed. I feel like the last 4 days of just being trapped in this very ill body, where my entire insides was just like a lava flow. I felt like I was processing hopelessness on a new level, and experiencing it in a new way that I hadn't before. And I can't say I enjoyed this process. It's been pretty harsh. It's been pretty painful. And there were points of it that were downright scary. To really reach moments where I could look around and feel like, is there really a point? Like, is there really a point in suffering at this level? Is there really a reason to go through 9 more rounds of this chemotherapy, particularly not knowing whether it's going to get worse than this, or even just be this bad again consistently 9 more times? And will the life I have after I suffer through this be worth it? There's a lot to grapple with, and I don't know. I don't know. No one can answer that question for me. And I know there are a lot of people out there saying, of course it's worth it. You have to believe it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it. All I know is I'm here today. I haven't given up yet. But wow, those last 4 days were really hard. And hopelessness is a really dark place to live in for any amount of time. But to live there for multiple days in a row is not good. Yeah. So once again, I don't yet have the answers for how to fix hopelessness. But I will say, not experiencing suffering, being able to wake up today, not have a lava flow, to be able to eat some food, to be able to take a shower, to feel only mildly unpleasant in my body. Has allowed me to reach a point where I can't say I feel hope, but I don't feel hopeless anymore. And it's allowed me to step outside of the space where I feel the need to give up. Or at least the desire to give up. Relief from suffering does help with hopelessness. So I think one connection I am making in this process is that working with my medical team and with my community of support and advocating for myself, something I was not taught to do when I was a child and when I was a young person. Speaking up when I need something, asking for help, saying when something hurts or doesn't feel good, and saying when I need something different, or saying when I need something more. straight up advocating for myself with my community and my medical team does make a difference, because it is helping change the suffering. It is helping alleviate the suffering, which is helping alleviate the hopelessness. So for those of you who are dealing with something in your life that is creating suffering, I encourage you to advocate for yourself, to speak up for what you need, to ask for help. And if the people you're asking for help cannot help you, ask someone else. Keep asking until you find someone who can help. The world is a big place. There are a lot of helpers. Thanks for being with me today. And until next time.